Hi, my name is Tony, and today I'm gonna teach you how to make this. A leather mask of Cthulhu. Because, where else? Who else? Who else is gonna teach you how to make one of these? With moving tentacles. They move. Let's get to work. So we're gonna start by printing the pattern, alright? I'm gonna run a short clip now to show you exactly what settings you need in order to print the pattern at the correct size. Now that you have the files on your computer, you have to open and print them. I recommend using Adobe Reader. This is software that's free to use, that's what I use. You cannot open and print them using editing software like Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw or other software that can change the pattern itself. Also, our patterns are not compatible with laser cutters of any sort. There is one setting you need to have checked when printing the pattern. Please keep actual size or print at 100%, is the same thing. The page size is A4. However, you can go ahead and choose letter or you can choose legal size, which are more popular in the US. The first page will contain a sizing diagram. There are two squares. Make sure when you print, the square is 5 or 2 inches in size. So go ahead, use a ruler, make sure the size is right. Once you print the pattern, cut the patterns out of the paper, and then we're gonna use these cutouts to put on the leather. We tape them all flat with masking tape, and then we're gonna go ahead and punch the holes, cut the leather out so we can start working on this, all right? As you probably realized, we're gonna start with this center piece here. I'll show you how to cut this piece, and using the same methods, I recommend you cut every other piece included in the pattern files. This design will call for 6 breathing holes here, which will be especially useful if you're gonna go for the version with lenses instead of mesh eyes, okay? If you don't like this design and instead you want to use lenses, then these holes are pretty necessary. And I used 5mm grommets here, which I'll show you how to set in order to make it look a little bit better. If you don't have grommets, leave the holes in there nevertheless. Now, before we move on, I will make these patterns available on a large format that will be printed by myself, packed and sent to your house. This will ensure you don't need to touch a printer, you don't need to put the small pieces together to form a whole one. These paper patterns are printed on a very large piece of paper, and all you have to do is cut it out and start using the pattern without any other hassle from your printer. Bear in mind, because these arrive to your home address by post, it may take anywhere between 10 and 20, 30 days if delays occur. Now that you have all the paper patterns available for the rest of the mask, go ahead and place them on your leather like you did with the front piece. Cut them, punch them holes, treat your leather, and then we can move on. The next piece we're gonna attach to the front, because we're gonna start working from the front all the way to the back, okay? So again, this temple piece here, this central upper part, sort of, we're gonna do that next. Okay? This has a little bit of a cutout in the middle, so there is a small piece here that needs to be attached to this larger one, and once we have these two pieces attached together, we're gonna stitch them to the central piece we've made first. When you attach this piece to this one, okay, you have to start attaching it from the correct place. So please be very careful how you start. It has to go from there. I'm not sure if you can see from this, but I'll show you closer. If you're unsure, you can always start from the middle here with two stitches, one going left, one going right. Now that we successfully attached the front piece to this temple piece here, let's close it. Let's close it right here underneath, okay? Here and here with two simple stitches before we move on. Once you do, you will see you've formed a hole through which the front tentacles will come out. Okay, good job. Good job so far. Proud of you. Okay, next we're gonna attach this piece that we've been working on to the next one, which is this one here. Okay, now before we do that, we're gonna take the next piece here and connect it right here. Once you have connected this piece like I showed you, we're gonna attach it to the front piece and we're gonna start stitching from here. So we're gonna start from here, go all the way up under the eye here, and we're gonna stop. And then we're gonna start from here, go all the way down there. Okay? So we'll do that next. With the first two stitches that, like I said, go from the bottom under the eye, then you do this stitch here. The next piece we're gonna attach to whatever we've been working on so far will be this one here, okay? And this we will attach starting from here okay? And then working our way around to finish on the other side here. There is one other piece that makes the helmet, okay, that makes the headpiece of this mask, and it's this very long piece here. Get ready for the longest stitch of the entire build, but don't worry, it's an easy stitch. Actually, before we move on and start assembling the tentacles, we have to put together the eye pieces as well. For the eye piece, you can either use one of these T-strainers, okay, or you can use lenses. But be careful, if you're gonna use lenses, there will be a separate pattern for that. The only difference between those two patterns, this one and the one for lenses, is the eyepiece here is modified to fit lenses. The lenses I sell in my shop. Okay? Yes, of course, you can make your own lenses. There will be a plan for the lenses in the pattern as well. But if you're using my lenses, go ahead and print the other pattern. The build is exactly the same to the T, but the holes are gonna be a bit different only here around the eyes to fit the lenses. So if you're gonna be making mesh eyes like I did, made out of T-strainers, next I'll show you exactly how I've done it. The way we're gonna attach the mesh, we're gonna use this round piece to stitch it on top of the front piece, and then we're gonna insert the mesh inside. And I recommend you start stitching from under the eye here, and then you'll have to trust me, the holes will match, but you will have to force these pieces into place. Okay, because that's why. You just have to do it. Stop asking questions, stop doubting the design, and just do it. Trust Uncle Tony knows best. Well, once you finish this, obviously, you're gonna have to attach the other one the same way. What I told you. Did I tell you they're gonna fit? Of course I did. And now you're looking at most of the mask, which kind of looks like a monkey, but just you wait till we make these beautiful tentacles, and we're gonna insert them and put them in there. Just you wait. Are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Let's start making the tentacles. You're looking at all the pieces I used to make one of the big tentacles, all right? The small ones are pretty much the same, just, a little bit smaller, and they don't have this little leathery bits here, because, I do what I want. You want to put those little bits of leather, give the suction cups here a little bit more depth, go ahead, be my guest. I also used this type of rivets, okay, with holes in the middle, because you wanted to create the illusion of a suction cup, okay? So you can use these, you can use double capped rivet, whatever you want. Whatever you want, go for the look you like. I think this is golden here, this here. All right, now we need to attach these 6 segments down the central piece here, okay? And when I actually cut them out of the leather, before I cut them out, underneath, I used the pencil and I wrote the numbers on it, because it'll be very easy for you now to put them together in the right order. This mask has 6 tentacles, 4 big, 2 small. However, for me to get to this, I had to make double this amount, because trial and error. So you'll have to trust me again when I tell you the way I put them together is the easiest way. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get piece 1, stitch it on only one side, piece 2, continue, piece 3, piece 4, right? And then when we get to the end here, we're gonna start stitching it, starting from there back up to piece number 1. If it doesn't make sense, simply keep watching the video. not start making any of these tentacles before you watch this part of the video carefully, and then after you watch it and you think you know, watch it again just to make sure, and then you go ahead. Now if you happen to mess up, which you probably will, go ahead, unstitch and redo. I'm telling you, this deserves all the effort you're gonna put into making it. When you stitch these segments, you will have to take into account between each segment I skip a hole, okay? That is to leave this tentacle room to move freely. now that you have the first tentacle done, I know you're not going to be patient enough to do the other 5, so you can go ahead and attach it, okay? Now you're going to have to insert it through the hole that the mask already has, and you'll start stitching from one side, go all the way in the other. This is the easy part, okay? And again, you might have to force the leather in place, especially on this one, but that is as intended. You go ahead and do that and you will see once again the holes match. The mask has 4 large tentacles and 2 small ones. The 2 small ones do not have a hole that they have to be inserted through. They will actually be stitched right on top of the mask here, okay? On the surface. This is the top, this is not the top. On the surface of the mask, okay? The stitching line is like a horseshoe, okay? Go ahead and attach one of these as well. Now that you've attached the first 2 tentacles, the big one and the small one, go ahead, do the other 4. You have to do it. You can't stop now. You already spent what? 30 minutes making this mask. You're not gonna waste these 30 minutes, are you? What? It's more than 30? Nah, maybe 45 top. 1 hour. You've been working on this for 1 hour and you're not finished. I'm losing my patience. We got other patterns to go through. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm joking. It'll probably take 2 hours. So we've got everything ready, okay? But it's not gonna stay on our head. So we're gonna move towards the back, and we're gonna make this strap system very easy. Very easy. All you need is this back piece here, to which you will attach 4 different straps that hold these buckles. Now I used 20mm buckles, okay? You don't have or you don't like 20mm, that's okay. You can either use your own, in which case you have to adjust the width of all the straps to your particular buckles, or you can just buy the same buckles I use from my shop. Again, link in the video description. Go ahead and do that, attach them all together, and then we will simply use the straps that you attached on 4 places on the actual mask. We're gonna attach it to this back piece and hold this firmly on your head or on the dummy head, whatever head you wanna use. It'll stay fixed there, it's not gonna fall off. Okay. The tentacles will move, but the mask will stay. Well, you've done it. Congratulations. This is the Mask of Cthulhu that you made yourself using our patterns. Obviously, I didn't dye it because I am not imaginative like that. I don't have an artist eye, sort of speak, for color. but you go ahead and paint the tentacles whatever shade you want. Make this green, black, whatever. Don't forget, octopus can change color according to the environment. Did you know that? They're like chameleons. Well, this is it. We finished this build, this amazing mask. And before we go, I'd like to thank you for watching this video and for subscribing, because this is exactly what you're compelled to do right now. Find that subscribe button, click on it, click the bell button next to it, and then next time we release an awesome build like this, you are the first to know. Thank you, and see you next time.